And the Lord said unto Ahijah, behold, like see, the wife of Jeroboam is coming to ask you for something for her son, because her son is sick. This and this is what you should say to her, because when she comes, she will disguise herself to be another woman. 6. And it was so, when Ahijah heard the footsteps of Jeroboam's wife as she came in at the door, then he said, come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why are you disguising to be another person? For God has sent me to give you heavy tidings, a heavy message. How can a blind person see? He couldn't see. How can a blind person know who is coming? Wisdom, intelligence, birthed from the greatness of God. So this testifies to the greatness of God in wisdom. Now, Psalm 145 verse 3 says, great is the Lord and greatly to be praised, and his greatness is unsearchable. Unsearchable means you cannot find it out. You cannot put his greatness in a box. You cannot put it in a map. You cannot draw borders around it. You cannot define it and say, this is how it is. It cannot change. It cannot be bigger. This is all there is to it. You cannot figure it out. You cannot exhaust it in description. When you see a dimension of God's greatness and you think you've seen it all, there are still a gazillion more dimensions that you have not seen. First Chronicles 16:25. For great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. He also is to be feared above all gods. Now let's go to the second segment of this part, which is greatly to be praised. God should be praised in a great way. He should be praised with praise that is consistent to his greatness. If someone buys you a car as a gift, you don't just look at the person and say, thanks. You show deep gratitude. Some will even go as far as hugging the giver, kneeling down before the giver, dancing before the giver of the gift. Something to show deep appreciation because of the magnitude of the gift. If someone gives you biscuits, it's okay to say a simple thank you. In essence, the praise that God should be giving should be consistent to God's greatness. Now, there are some praises recorded in the Bible which are meaningful. So let's go through some of them. And as we do, let's praise God. Exodus 15:11 to 21. Who is like unto thee? Who is like thee? Who is like you? Who is like unto thee, O Lord, amongst the gods? Who is like thee? Glorious in holiness. That's you are exceptionally outstanding. Fearful in praises. That's when we hear your praises, we'll be afraid. We will tremble like, hey, who is this? Doing wonders. Thou stretched out thy right hand, the earth swallowed them. Now, this was recorded after God parted the Red Sea and drowned Pharaoh and his army in the midst of the water, but the Israelites were unharmed and they were safe. Thou in thy mercy hast led forth the people which thou hast redeemed. Thou hast guided them in thy strength unto thy holy habitation. The people shall hear and be afraid. Sorrow shall take hold on the inhabitants of Palestina. Then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty men of Moab, trembling, shall take hold upon them. All the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. Fear and dread shall fall upon them by the greatness of thy arm. They shall be as still as a stone, till thy people pass over, O Lord, till thy people pass over, which thou hast purchased. Thou shalt bring them in and plant them in the mountain of thy inheritance, in the palace, O Lord, which thou hast made for thee to dwell in the sanctuary, O Lord, which thy hands have established. The Lord shall reign forever and ever. For the horse of Pharaoh went in with his chariots and with his horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought again the waters of the sea upon them. But the children of Israel went on dry land in the midst of the sea. Someone said God laid down red carpet in the middle of the sea for his children to walk through. And Miriam the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timbrel, a musical instrument, in her hand, and all the women went after her with timbrels and with dances. And Miriam answered them, sing it to the Lord, for he had triumphed gloriously. He has won gloriously. The horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea. Isaiah 40:28-31. This is amazing. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainted not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. He increases the level of their strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Let's look at Deuteronomy 33:26. There is none like unto the God of Jeshurun. Jeshurun is like a nickname, a poetic name for Israel. Jeshurun means upright one. So like you're saying, righteous one. So there is none like the God of Jeshurun, that's God of Israel, who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, and in his excellency on the sky. Let's look at Colossians 1:16-19. This is another very cool praise for God, talking about Jesus now. For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible. Things we can see, things we cannot see, that we don't even know exist. God created it. Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things. Premier, he's the first. And by him all things consist. You know the word consist means to be part of. Think of anything that exists, anything that is in something, anything that contains something, anything that you can call matter. That thing exists because Jesus made it exist. And by him all things consist. And he's the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn among dead people, that in all things he might have the preeminence. Now, this firstborn from the dead, firstborn among dead people, how is Jesus the firstborn among the dead? Didn't people die before he came into this world? So, didn't Lazarus die before Jesus died? So, how is he the firstborn among dead people? Let's look at Revelations. Revelations tells us that from the foundation of the world, the Lamb was slain. So when God was creating the world, he already knew what was going to happen. He knew that man will disobey him and man will need redemption. So as he was creating the world, Jesus had already been sacrificed for our redemption from the beginning. You know, God calls himself the one who declares the end of a thing from the beginning. So he knows what will happen. He knows how a story will play out, even from the first scene. So he knew that man will fall so low that will really need a very, 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 very strong kind of redemption. So Jesus was slain from the foundation of the world. So Jesus was the first person to die, even before Adam died, even before Abel died. So he is before all things. He was the first person that ever died. He died from the foundation of the world.